You are now tuned in to Insight Sundays, the show that brings you relevant news, youth topics with a new mission and focus for our communities.
What's going on, Indianapolis? It's your main man, Adrian Mickens, here with my co-star, co-host,
David Kegler.
And once again, we have another dynamic show for everybody. Once again, we thank the Harambe Show for presenting Insight Sundays. As always, we're going to give a shout out to all of our sponsors who sponsor Insight Sundays, which is Buttons and Bows Hair Salon, Bethesda Southeast Campus, RNS Menswear, Studio 14 Hair Salon, Sam Ash Music Store, Beach Grove Bible Church, and also Fishers of Men's Ministry, who has a stage play coming up. It's called The Lost and Found on November 18th at 7 p.m. and on the 19th, I believe, at 1 p.m. Ivy Tech Community College, the Lawrence campus. Any questions, contact Tanya Majors at 317-985-9331. So we're going to go ahead and kick this show off. It's a special show for me, for everybody who's out there listening. You can catch us on Facebook Live, Insight Sundays. Once again, that's Facebook, Insight Sundays, or any other social media account, Twitter, Snapchat, or Instagram under Insight Sundays. So today in studio, we have the great Buttons and Bows Hair Salon. And I'm not going to be biased, but I guess I am anyway. She is my mother who's in studio today, Miss Charmaine. Charmaine, or Mom, whichever one.
Good evening.
Good evening. So we're going to talk about our family salon and how long it's been running. Obviously, I know the behind the scenes because I was in it. But explain to the public on this 16-year, going on 17-year great run of Buttons and Bows Hair Salon.
Well, we've been in business for 16 years, still up and running. It is a blessing from God, and we have a new location, which is 6233 Allisonville Road.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as a son to a mom, what made you have the ambition to open up a salon 16 years ago? You know, I seen you do the dirty work, meaning you did all the studying and trying to force me to sit down so you could practice on me like a test dummy. But explain to the public, why is it that you chose to get into, I won't necessarily say the hair industry, but I guess all around it is, because you do nails and pedicures and stuff like that. So what made you want to get into the industry?
Well, it's been a theme of mine to always own my own business. I just didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I haven't always been in the industry. I worked in the corporate world as well. And it's like our mom and father, everything that they did, we said we wasn't going to do, but my mom was in the industry.
Yep.
And so I just decided this would be the business to do. And so it's just been up and running the whole time. So pretty much when you're a shop baby, you pretty much stick with it.
Yep. That's very true. That's very true. So let me ask you this question. Has the industry changed from 16 years ago?
Oh, most definitely. Everything is technology. We don't do paper flyers anymore, you know. No,
that's very true, yeah.
Yeah, so everything is appointments made. You can actually do it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually, it's Wi-Fi. Everything is just upgraded technology.
Would you say like the industry has changed as far as the way that women come in and get their hair done or ask for different services now because of the internet? Like before, they would probably have to call the person who actually, you know, is the professional in the profession and get advice from them. But now they get their advice from the internet, and you know, I've seen it. They tell you, you know, what to do, and you know, you're the one that went to school for all the stylists out there. So, what difference is that from 16 years ago? Because that didn't exist 16 years ago.
That's a huge difference. I mean, you can go on there on the internet and learn extensions, how to install them, and different things like that. But it's still that form of professionalism. And so that clientele will still come in the shop, and they will actually want the stylist to be able to perform what they actually do, what they've actually seen on YouTube.
Gotcha.
You know,
make me look like Beyonce.
we actually have, for those of you all who don't know, we have a hairstylist in the house today, yes. Danielle, who's here, and she's here every so often on the show. So explain to us as a hairstylist, would you say that the benefit of the internet and you know, ladies knowing kind of what they want beforehand and kind of telling you what to do is a plus or a negative?
It's both. It's got its pros and its cons. The pro is, you know, it's new and innovative. The con is a lot of the styles that people see on the internet are like one-time styles, so they don't last as long or whatever. You know, some of that stuff is just for that moment.
And let me ask this question too. Have you ever had somebody who tried to do their hair themselves from YouTube and then come to you with a catastrophe?
Absolutely, and I upcharge for fixing.
As well as you should. Go to the professional first and just let them do their job. That's what I always say. Go to the professional first. I mean, it does give you guys a little insight on what to ask for. Like if they had a personal booklet. I don't know how it was before. I just know, going to barbershop back in the day. They had all the styles all on the wall. Well, now we can just
give
look
me
on
number 5. Give me number 5 with 2 parts on the side.
It's
And they
definitely
taste them.
upgraded.
Oh, that's awesome. So with Buns and Bows Hair Salon, of course, we've changed location as you just stated. Is it a bigger facility, would you say, for everybody? A little bit more comfortable?
Most definitely. It is a very large facility, and it is a diverse hair salon. So we do service all nationalities. Something I've always wanted was a diverse hair salon. So,
Awesome.
yes.
Awesome. So now I know, Mom, that you don't do hair. So what are all the services you provide that make it a full hair salon?
I do nails, manicures, pedicures, acrylic nails, acrylic toes. I do lashes and brows. And that makes it a full running hair salon.
Awesome.
Do you have a barber now?
No, I do not. So we are looking for barbers and hairstylists. So we do have about a few booth space left, and they are going pretty fast. So for more info, please give me a call at 317-318-4248 for more information.
All right. So we also have one more special guest in the house today, and this is a client of my mother's who's been a 10-year client, one of many that she has years in running. So Mrs. Kim is in the house, and explain to us, Miss Kim, the services and the atmosphere at Buns and Bows Hair Salon and the growth that you've seen my mother grow from Buns and Bows Hair Salon from then until now.
So I have been a client of Charmaine's for probably over 10 years. I mainly get my lashes done, but I also have gotten manicures from her as well, and a pedicure. So I recommend her to everyone out there. She did start, when I started going to Charmaine, it was a smaller shop, and now to see what she's moved to on 62nd and Allisonville definitely is a treat. I do like the diverse atmosphere. There's refreshments. She even provides snacks for her clients. And I definitely love the music. So
awesome. That's really good. So have you gotten great specials from time to time from Buns and Bows?
yeah, she does run specials. I actually like buying gift certificates from her as well, so I can give them to friends if necessary.
Gotcha.
for presents.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
So-
I'm like, hey, I got an idea now.
Well, that's awesome. So, is there any specials that you got coming up this week? On a radio show, somebody want to come in and mention? I don't know if you do or not, but is there something you got coming up next week that you do?
Well,
frequently?
actually, we are running for all first-time clients. We are running a 10% off of any services that you get. And from November, actually starting from November 1st, and I normally run it all the way until March 1st, you can get your pedicures for $25. My pedicures are normally $30, but we are going to be running that special.
Got you.
And also, you do pedicures and manicures for men as well.
Exactly. I have a men clientele, and they do get their manicures and pedicures.
David. For everybody out there
Yes.
watching this Facebook, David gets his mani painted.
So how did you like your manicure, David?
She used to have to come strap me down because I wouldn't do it. David does it willingly.
Correct. He did the cleaning.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, how many extra spaces, booth spaces, do you have available?
Well, we currently have about 3 spaces left, and there is a total of about 9 of us that's there now.
Okay.
So we have 3 spaces to fill.
3 spaces to fill. We're looking for barbers. If you're a barber out there, you already got your license. We're definitely looking for you, and definitely a couple extra hairstylists and all that good stuff. So I guess for right now, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. But right before we do that, if you can give the location and phone number where people can come check you out.
Okay, we are located at 6233 Allisonville Road. The number is area code 317-362-0323, and the alternate number is 317-318-4248.
All right, we appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and transition into our next segment. We'll catch you in just a few seconds. What's going on, Indianapolis? And welcome back once again. I am your host, Adrian Mickens, with my co-star co-host,
David Kegler.
And we're going to go ahead and transition over into our second part of the show. Once again, I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, which is Buttons and Bows Hair Salon, Bethesda Southeast Campus, RNS Menswear, Studio 14 Hair Salon, Sam Ash Music Store, Fishers of Men's Ministry. Once again, they have a stage play going on, The Lost and Found, November 18th at 7 p.m., 19th at 1 p.m. at Ivy Tech Community College. Contact Tanya Majors at 317-985-9331. And our last sponsor, who is actually in the house today, is Beech Grove Bible Church. And again, I don't want to be biased, but I'm going to have to be because it's my church home. So,
bless you, man.
Beech Grove Bible Church is in the house with the great Pastor Dwight Washington, and also for all of our Facebook land people, the First Lady is in the house, Mrs. Washington. Hello, hello, hello. And so I want to start off by asking this question, Pastor. What gave you, I guess, in your younger age, or when did you know that it was your calling to be a pastor? I've never asked you this question ever. So when did you know it was your calling to become a pastor?
Well, first of all, AJ, thank you for having us on. Mm-hmm. I was actually called to ministry at the age of 4. I was in my grandmother's house and just kind of playing, and all of a sudden I started yelling and preaching. You know, that's how we were trained to preach, loud, strong, screaming. And she told me to sit down, and I wouldn't sit down. Now, my grandmother was old school, so anytime she told you to sit down, that's what she meant. So I said, I can't sit down, Grandma, because God has called me to preach. And after that, she never said another word to me about sitting down. She just let me do what I was doing. Here we are, almost 50 years later. I'm still doing what I'm doing, man.
Hey, and it's a blessing. And I can personally tell y'all, I know he said 50 years later he's here doing it. And I've been with him more than half my life. I'm only 29, and I've seen him with my own eyes where I see him study silently, reading the word, and just don't preach just for the sake of preaching. He actually preaches with the word and gives the correct message that everyone should hear. Because nowadays we got bad interpretations, and everybody's taking their context the way that they want to take it, and he actually preaches it the way that it's supposed to be. And I'm saying that because even at a young age, I always understood what you were talking about. Always.
Well, that's the game plan. I have a saying that you can't implement what you don't understand. So
there was never, as we say, hidden messages. There was no hidden messages. You can't hide the truth, as Danielle always says. You can't hide the truth, and that's just what it is. So, what's the mission of Beech Grove Bible Church?
Our mission is simple: love God, love one another, serve the world. That's what we do. When we first started, we had this big, long, convoluted mission statement, and I told my wife about a year or so ago. I said, "Honey, we just need to simplify that to basically the core of what we do. We love God first of all. We love one another, and we serve the world." So that's what we kind of condensed everything down to that. You come into our church, of course, you know this. It's on the wall. Love God, love one another, serve the world. That's our mission. That's what we do, man.
Very simple.
And that's awesome. And not only do they have a mission, they actually act on the mission. They have lots and lots of different things that they do at the church for all genres, meaning the men's ministry, the women's ministry, youth things. We have Easter egg hunts. We do everything, and the majority of it is right there at the church. They try to make everything convenient for everybody who's on the south side of town. They try not to go too far on the outskirts and keep it right there, which is pretty awesome. So what's some things that you want to unveil about the men's ministry that you want to draw the young men and the older men to be a part of?
Well, our men's ministry is led by Deacon Partee. He has a great passion and a heart for men's ministry, and So what we do is during the summer months, we have activities outside of the church. So we've played golf. Last month we went to the gun range. That was a blast, man. Literally. So that was last month. This month, this coming Saturday, actually, because we meet the first Saturday of every month from 9:30 to noon. We're playing basketball. You might be interested in that.
Yep. He gave me the flyer today, and I was so happy.
You still have game. You used to have game.
All right. You know, me and Antonio were talking about that. I told him I hadn't played it a year and a half. So I think my agileness is starting to come back.
Let the excuses begin.
Okay. Back to the Cooper Point days on the west side, on the west side of town. So but that's all right. So tell us a little bit about the women's ministry and, you know, how we uplift the women in our community and at the church.
Years ago, my wife had a vision of a way to empower women, and so she came up with the idea of Princess to Queens. She's here. That's her vision, and what it does is it empowers the young girls all the way up until the oldest lady at the church, and that would be my mother, who will be 80 next year. So there's something for all of them, and they just kind of get together and have different activities. Their favorite activity is the Wind Down Wednesday.
Yes.
Where they all kind of go out to a restaurant. My wife picks a restaurant. They all go out, just kind of hang out, chat, whatever women do. Other than that, but I'm told they have a great time when they do that.
I appreciate that, Dave.
Actually, you had touched on it. I was looking on your Facebook page, and for your men's mentoring, you guys went to the range, and the Wind Down Wednesday. You guys actually have a lot of activities where you all are reaching out to the congregation, as most churches should and probably do. But it's nice that it's just not just the regular stuff, the shooting range, you know. And I see here on December 31st, you guys are going to do something, you know, and you guys are advertising that early, and I think that's great.
Well, we kind of, you got to know my heart. We kind of think out of the box. I've been in church all my life, and I say church basically, in most cases, has been where you come out for some dude to stand in the front with a mic to tell you what you already know. So if I'm going to tell you what you already know, then my question to you is, what have you learned? So we try to mix it up. We do things differently. December 31st, we're going to have a game night. We're just going to be playing games. Sorry. What else we going to be doing? Let's Make a Deal. Monopoly.
Yeah.
It's going to be on and popping, man. And we're going to do that all night long. We're going to just hang out with each other. We're going to have the screens, the big screens in the front of the church. They're going to have games hooked up to them, PlayStation 4 or 5, whatever is the current one. It's going to be a blast.
So,
it's going to be a blast.
In case everybody haven't noticed, if you're hearing, this is a family-oriented church.
Yeah.
It's just not service. You go home and you don't know the members next to you, or somebody just talking about you in the front row as they giving you a peppermint and talking about you behind your back. That's not the case. And I definitely will say this is one thing I remember maybe probably about a month ago that you were talking about in service, and that is, our generation, meaning the 70s, 80s babies, and 90s for that matter, because they're the new 20-year-old generation, that we don't go for the okie doke. No more.
You remembered that?
Yeah, I remember that. We don't go for the okie doke. So, what would you say to the young people out there? You know, that 70s, 80s, 90s generation, even for our new millennium babies who's 16, 17 now, getting up there. What would you tell them, about that message, a snippet of not taking the okie doke, and how should they find Christ and follow in Christ?
Well, I think it's all about relationship. And for many years, centuries actually, we've made it about church. And God all he ever wanted from us was a relationship.
Yep.
And so we try to keep that in the forefront of our ministry, to understand that all of us have sinned. We've all come short of the glory of God. I can't point my finger at you. You can't point your finger at me. So let's just share the love of God together,
Yeah.
So that's what we try to do. And make it relevant. people are dealing with a lot of things, and we try to be relevant to the things that they're dealing with. People are dealing with low self-esteem. People are dealing with financial issues. And all that stuff, man. So we try to make it relevant for everybody, so everybody can come in and find out more, not about church, but find out more about Jesus.
And that is true. And I will definitely say, too, because, I've seen this with my own eyes. He is a great theologist. He can take you back on a timeline. I didn't even know that timeline even existed in the timeline. And he can definitely do that for you at Beech Grove Bible Church. My last question I have is the power of prayer. I know every Tuesday that you guys have prayer around noontime.
Yeah.
How does anybody can come in, or how does that work to get involved with prayer on Tuesdays?
Yeah, prayer is basically the substratum of everything that we do. We have prayer, as you said, on Tuesday, but we also have prayer before every service. Mm-hmm. We have prayer after every service. And then there are those who need what we classify as maybe extra prayer. So we have people who will stay after service and pray with them and just minister to them. So prayer is kind of at the forefront of everything we do. It is what we it's what we go to when we don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. When we talk to God, He tells us this is what you need to do. It leads us in our life. So it's so important. The prayer efforts that we have on Tuesday, my wife and some of her team lead that. They're there every Tuesday at 12 noon, and anybody is welcome, man. You can come on in and just join in from 12 to 1.
Gotcha. So once again, everybody, taking just a quick break. Follow us on Insight Sundays on Facebook. Once again, that's Insight Sundays on Facebook. You can also find us on Twitter, Insight Sundays, Snapchat, Insight Sundays, or Instagram at Insight Sundays.
Have them give the address before we go off.
Oh, yep, I definitely will. So there's an extra special day today. It is Pastor Washington's birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow. But I know we had a special birthday celebration, and we're going to finish it out here in the studio. So if you turn around, we have our production assistant here today, and we got you some stuff in studio. Man. So BGBC so family, if you get on Facebook, you can see Pastor Washington live receiving all of his gifts.
Thank you so much.
He's an awesome person, incredible person.
Thank you,
First Lady, I can definitely say I'm speaking only the truth. They definitely helped raise me, and I met them when I was about 11 years old. We lived right across the street from one another. First Lady used to pick us up when it rained. Her son, DJ, which was my best friend growing up, take us to McDonald's. I used to love when it rained because I knew she was going to take us to McDonald's. I just knew it. I was counting on the rain. So, again, we appreciate everything, Pastor Washington, that you do.
Thank you, man.
I really do. First Lady, we really do appreciate it. Dave, any last questions that you may have?
No, just make sure you give us the address where people can come out.
Yep.
We are located at 5245 Victory Drive.
Mm-hmm.
That's right there in the Beech Grove area, right off the interstate, the exit 52, the Beech Grove Emerson Avenue exit. You come off, and we're right there. Victory Drive is right there by the Speedway gas station and the Steak and Shake restaurant. Mm-hmm. We're there every Sunday at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
We go from 9:30 sharp, or from 9 to 10:30 sharp.
Yep.
We start on time, right?
Yep.
And we usually get out on time too.
Yep. 10:30.
So you can kind of plan your day because we value people's time.
Yep. So once again, if you're on the highway, you see, if you know where the Expo Bowl is, right after our Emerson, I know that's a pretty big landmark everybody uses. You can use that. Also, the website is beechgrovebiblechurch.org. .org, and you can also download the mobile app, which is the Beech Grove Bible Church mobile app too as well. Any last
Just a shout out to you, man.
Thank you.
AJ was the one that got our app together. A tremendous young man.
Appreciate it.
So do what you do, man. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you so much. So once again, we appreciate everybody for tuning in, and tuning in also on Facebook Live. We'll check you guys out next week.
Peace.